This isn't a lecture. It's your personal leadership playbook.
Welcome to Elite Leader Insights, powered by the Foundations of Influence framework.
Each episode brings a focused insight from the Elite Leader Insights newsletter, written by Donald C. Kunkel Jr., founder of the Elite Leadership Center and creator of the TECCA Power Profile Report.
Let's explore what influence in action looks like this week.
Okay, so today we're really diving into something important, something Donald Kunkel Jr. has explored deeply. It's about emotional sensitivity in leadership.
Yeah, and sometimes, this gets tangled up with the term neuroticism, which, let's be honest, often sounds negative.
All right, it carries baggage. But our mission here is to unpack it. We want to understand this trait, not just as something to deal with, but actually as a potential strategic edge for you as a leader.
Exactly. It's something you encounter constantly, day in, day out.
It really is.
And what's interesting is how often leadership development kind of brushes past emotional sensitivity.
Yeah.
Or worse, treats it like a liability.
Like something you need to suppress.
Precisely.
Yeah.
But we want to offer a totally different perspective. We're suggesting you start seeing these emotional signals in yourself, in your team, as, well, valuable data, not noise.
Data, not distractions. I like that.
Right.
So turning a supposed weakness into a strength.
That's the idea, finding the insight hidden within it.
Don shared this story from his Air Force days back when he was a young E5. It really stuck with me.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
Well, they were on the operations floor, pre-mission briefing, tense atmosphere. And a subordinate, apparently a really sharp analyst, voiced a concern.
Okay, a valid one.
Yeah, it seemed like a genuine worry about something they hadn't quite covered, a potential blind spot for the mission. You could tell he was anxious about it.
Right, make it
But
deep.
the supervisor just shut him down, snapped something like, "Stop being so emotional, just get the job done. No time for your nonsense today."
Ouch. That's harsh.
Yeah, and Donald described the effect. It was immediate. This analyst, who was usually engaged and capable, just visibly deflated.
You could see it happen.
Yeah, shoulders slumped, energy gone. That willingness to flag a potential problem, poof, disappeared.
And that sends a powerful message, doesn't it? Not just for that moment.
Exactly. It teaches people to stay quiet, maybe even to start doubting their own gut feelings. As Don reflects now, he says, we often criticize what we haven't bothered to understand.
That subordinate's reaction, the worry, the frustration, it was a signal, wasn't it?
A critical one. A signal that something needed a closer look before they proceeded. It's like gold for a leader if you know how to read it.
Instead of just shutting it down.
Right. Which brings us to the why. Why is this trait so often misunderstood? You mentioned neuroticism earlier.
Yeah, and in psychology, particularly the Big Five personality model, neuroticism isn't meant as an insult. It's simply a measure of emotional sensitivity.
Okay. So like how strongly or frequently someone feels things like anxiety or frustration, maybe self-doubt.
Exactly. Or even positive emotions, just more intensely. But the problem is high emotional sensitivity, high neuroticism gets this bad rap. There are a few reasons why.
I can imagine. What are the big ones?
Well, first, there's some history in the research. Early studies, even some bigger analyses, found these modest negative links between higher neuroticism and how effective leaders are perceived to be.
Perceived being the key word there.
Absolutely. It often gets tied to things like making decisions under stress or seeming less stable, but the interpretation can be simplistic.
So it's not the sensitivity itself, maybe, but how it shows up under pressure.
That's a big part of it. And then there's just plain old workplace culture. A lot of places still value that stoic, unflappable leader image.
Right. The idea that showing emotion is somehow unprofessional or weak.
Exactly. It doesn't leave much space for appreciating deeper emotional processing.
And the language doesn't help, does it? Using neurotic casually.
You nailed it. Outside of a clinical setting, people toss around neurotic to mean irrational or just overly worried. It flattens the whole idea, stigmatizes it.
Making it harder to actually talk about it constructively.
Right. So we end up missing the signal because we're focused on the perceived noise. But that's what we want to challenge.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting then. If it's so misunderstood, what's the hidden advantage? What's the upside leaders are missing?
Huge potential upside. When it's channeled effectively, that higher sensitivity can actually be a superpower. Think about risk anticipation.
How so?
Well, someone more sensitive might have a more active amygdala, the brain's alarm system. They might pick up on subtle cues others miss.
Like a faint inconsistency
Or-
or a slight shift in mood on the team.
Exactly. An early warning system that's highly attuned.
Yeah,
They can often sense potential problems brewing before they become obvious.
that makes a lot of sense. What else?
Empathy. Big time. That sensitivity to emotional nuances, it can translate into a much deeper understanding of what team members are going through.
Building trust, better relationships.
Definitely. You connect more authentically. You can address concerns proactively. It builds loyalty and psychological safety. And there's one more key thing, preparation. That tendency to worry about what could go wrong. Instead of paralyzing someone, it can drive incredibly thorough planning.
So the anxiety fuels diligence, covering all the bases, thinking through contingencies.
Precisely. It transforms worry into vigilance.
Wow. The newsletter actually highlighted some amazing examples. Winston Churchill, right? Known for his black dog, his depression and anxiety.
Yet his wartime leadership was defined by vigilance, urgency. Incredible drive fueled perhaps by feeling that weight.
And Abraham Lincoln with his melancholy.
Channeled into profound empathy, thoughtful decisions during an incredibly divisive time, his sensitivity gave him wisdom.
Then you jump to modern times. Elon Musk. Publicly, he can be pretty reactive.
Definitely seems emotionally invested, sometimes volatile. But he also anticipates risks and opportunities in totally new fields that others just don't see. That intensity might signal a different kind of awareness.
And Howard Schultz at Starbucks.
Intensely connected to the people, the brand experience. That sensitivity allowed him to make bold, values-driven choices because he felt the impact on employees and customers so deeply.
It's almost funny to think about, isn't it? Can you imagine telling Churchill or Lincoln, hey, stop being so neurotic, just chill out and leave?
Or telling Musk, quit overthinking it, calm down. It sounds ridiculous because their sensitivity was woven into their leadership fabric.
Yeah, it really underscores the point. Leaders aren't supposed to be identical robots.
Not at all. Effective leadership is about harnessing what makes each person unique, including their emotional wiring, leveraging the full spectrum for the mission.
So, okay, let's bring this home for everyone listening. What does this mean for us? What's the actionable takeaway here?
The big takeaway is this. Your emotional wiring isn't fixed. It's not destiny. You can absolutely shape it, refine it, and learn to leverage it.
That's empowering. How? What does the science say?
Well, first off, emotional regulation techniques work. Things like cognitive reappraisal, actively reframing your thoughts about a situation.
So not suppressing the feeling, but changing the story you tell yourself about it. Like, this isn't a threat, it's a challenge.
Exactly. Or, this energy is gearing me up. It dials down the volatility, but keeps the awareness. Like tuning an instrument.
And this isn't just mental tricks, it changes the brain.
It does. That's neuroplasticity. Consistent practice actually strengthens the prefrontal cortex's ability to manage emotional responses. You're literally building new pathways.
Like exercising a muscle.
Precisely. And finally, coaching makes a huge difference. Combining objective feedback, like from assessments, with personalized coaching, that leads to real, measurable improvements in trust, decision-making, all of it.
Okay, so it's learnable, it's trainable, and it's sustainable with the right support.
Absolutely.
So for someone listening right now thinking, okay, I recognize some of that sensitivity in myself, how do I turn it into that strategic asset? What are the concrete steps?
Donald lays out 3 clear paths. Path 1, self-awareness first. You really have to start by understanding your own landscape.
How do you do that objectively?
Assessments are key, like the TECCA Influence System he developed looking at trust, emotional intelligence, communication, credibility, adaptability. It helps you see exactly how your reactivity might be impacting those areas. You can't change what you don't see clearly.
Makes sense. Know this self. What's path 2?
Micro-habit mastery. Once you have the awareness, you build small, repeatable actions into your day.
Like what kind of actions?
Could be simple stuff. 3 deep breaths before a tough conversation. Actively reframing stress. This feeling means I'm preparing. Maybe even just writing down decisions so you don't keep second-guessing. Little things, done consistently.
They add up over time. And the third path?
Coached adaptation. This is about locking in those new habits, getting feedback, having accountability. A coach helps you refine things, navigate setbacks, and make those adaptive responses truly automatic, part of your authentic style.
So it becomes second nature, not something you have to constantly force.
Exactly. Integrated.
Okay, this is powerful for individuals, but it feels bigger than that too. How can organizations, teams, how can we all help foster environments where sensitivity is seen as a strength?
That's a crucial question. For employers, it starts with shifting mindset. See sensitive leaders not as fragile, but as valuable for their vigilance, empathy, foresight.
So actively look for those strengths.
Yes. And provide psychological safety. Let people voice concerns without penalty, offer mentorship, and consciously build diverse teams. Mix the highly sensitive with the naturally stable. They balance each other beautifully.
That makes sense. And for teams on the ground, day to day.
Normalize different styles. See them as complementary. If someone reacts strongly, get curious, not critical. Ask, what are you picking up on that maybe I'm missing?
Instead of, why are you overreacting?
Right. Create space for those emotional perspectives, especially during planning or risk talks. That's often where they shine. Maybe even pair people strategically, the sensitive planner with the calm executor.
I like that. And finally, for us as individuals, beyond those three paths, what else can we do daily?
Keep building that self-awareness. Notice your triggers. Practice quick resets, breathing, reframing, grounding yourself physically. Ask yourself, what is this emotion telling me? Extract the insight.
Turn reactivity into reflection.
Yes, and build your support network. Find those balancers you trust, people who offer perspective or just listen non-judgmentally. They can be invaluable anchors. So let's wrap this up. The core idea today is really this. Emotional sensitivity isn't a flaw in leadership. Not at all. It's actually an amplifier, but only if you understand it and tune it properly.
Right.
When we genuinely try to understand the why behind someone's reaction, ours or theirs, we move from judgment to empowerment. That's the shift.
From positional authority
to truly transformational influence.
And it circles back to that fundamental question. If leadership isn't about being uniform, but about harnessing unique traits, shouldn't you know exactly what yours are? The TECCA Influence Assessment is designed for that, to show you how your trust, emotional intelligence, communication, credibility, and adaptability interact.
Knowing your profile helps you lead from strength, address blind spots.
Exactly. You can get your personal TECCA Power Profile, a 10-page report right now at EliteLeadershipCenter.com, and it's free for a limited time. Definitely check that out. Thank you for joining us this week for our latest Elite Leader Insights podcast. We're building a community of influence-first leaders. Join us at EliteLeadershipCenter.com and make sure to subscribe for more bite-sized growth every week.
Until next week, remember, leadership is influence in action every day in every relationship. Let's build it together.